Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Sweet Life at Home. I am yours truly, Chandra, and as always, I am so happy that you came by. We at a different location today. I'm still at home. I just trying different areas to record my podcast. Let me go ahead and let you know of the upcoming year. There will be some changes to my podcast on today. So I wanted to make sure that I let you all know that. So be on the lookout for the upcoming changes. Nothing too major, but it will be some changes on today. So with that being said, I want to thank you all for coming back to another podcast. I have been MIA for a minute. I'm trying to get my schedule together to pin down a date that I can just put out a video and podcast weekly on my channel. It's just that, school time. It is school time, and we have a lot of things going on with my son playing basketball, and we're getting ready to transition over to soccer. My daughter is in a play with school. So yeah, we have a lot of things going on today. So but yeah, so we have a lot, and so I am trying to pin down a date of where or when I can get my podcast and videos out, just because it's so hectic. It is so hectic. So yeah, so let me go ahead and get started with this video / podcast on today. And we're going to discuss about being a homemaker and a Titus 2 wife, which I think hit home with a lot of people. I hear a lot of it being discussed, but I saw this one video on YouTube that really struck home with me, and it just opened my eyes up into the importance of being the homemaker of the home. So I came across this young lady called Lori Johnson. Is it Lori Johnson? Yes, Lori Johnson. It's Lorri. And she did a series on her YouTube channel called To Be Keepers at Home. And this resonated with me so much. And the reason why is because I, yours truly, was not being a keeper of my home. I was raised in a household where my mom was pretty much the household manager. My mom managed the finances. My mom was the income maker, the breadwinner of the house. My father did work, but my father at that time wasn't saved. My father was an alcoholic. And I think I've talked about how God has delivered my father from alcoholism. And he's in church, praise God, and he's the deacon, the head deacon of their church. But watching my mom run a household, and she didn't really start being a good housekeeper or homekeeper until she had to retire from work, and she had no other choice. And so that is what I saw growing up. And so as I got married, I brought that same mind frame in my marriage. And when I saw that video from Mrs. Lori, it resonated. It pricked me. It was just like God was pricking me and saying, you see how you can miss out going into the kingdom for just not keeping your home clean? Because the scriptures talk about how, wide is the gate up to destruction and narrow is the way to heaven. And it pricked me. It really pricked me. One little thing like that could have kept me out of the kingdom. And so I have been intentional about how I am keeping my home and how to be a good homekeeper, since the Bible called us to be so. And so I can't speak about nobody else. I can only talk about me, and I'm gonna give you some tips that what I am doing to make sure that I am a keeper of my home, because this Titus 2 role and being in this role, a lot of women would fight against it because they're saying that you're just being a slave or what have you. But I'm trying to get it to heaven. That's all. I'm just trying to get into heaven. And any way that I can teach the generation under me about being a good home keeper of your home, I'm gonna do it. And let me just say this, being a single parent, I know the role of being a single parent. It is hard being a single parent. It is absolutely hard. But it's a young lady on here who is a single parent, who is a keeper of her home. And she works as a school teacher full time. I'm going to leave her YouTube channel below. And she makes 7 stream of income and still keep her home. I'm going to leave her link below. So that myth, that myth is not working any longer as well, because I admire this young lady. I wish I had her mind frame when I was a single parent, because a whole lot of excuses that I have when I was a single parent would have not played well. So yeah. So let me start with me, like I said, because like I said, Miss Johnson or Miss Lori, her breakdown of a homekeeper pricked my heart. It was her and another young lady, and I cannot think of her name. I love this young lady. But anyway, number one, the first thing that I realized what was keeping me from being a home keeper of my home was social media. And it wasn't what people were saying. It was that I would engulf myself in social media so much that 30 minutes to an hour to 3 hours, 2 hours would pass. And I haven't done anything in my home. I hadn't washed clothes. I haven't cleaned up my room. I haven't cleaned up the living room. Like I had done nothing in my home. And I've sat all day on social media and scrolling on social media. And that was my number one thing. And I have made it conscious that, when I see that I've been on social media more than 45 minutes to an hour, I put my phone down. I put my phone down because I got things to do. I got a home that I got to clean. I got clothes I got to put up. I got dinners that I got to make and all that stuff. And so I consciously have started watching myself to make sure that social media doesn't rob me of my time, because time is precious. Time is very precious. And with my husband, sometime working 12 or 13 hours a day, it's no need for him to come home to a dirty home when he's out there working as hard as he's working. Or dinner is just not getting cooked because I've been scrolling on social media and he's not walking home with a hot cooked meal. There's no excuse for that. So that's the first thing that I noticed, is that scrolling on social media. And I know Christian does not celebrate Lent because it's not in the Bible. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but Christians as myself, I don't celebrate Lent. But I am looking into not being on social media as far as scrolling. Now, posting about, my channel and stuff is totally different. But just doing all that scrolling like I'm doing, in March I'm looking at really tapering off and being more intentional about my home, and I will post videos about the things that I'm doing for my home, because I was looking bad at my home, and God had to let me know it doesn't matter the address or the neighborhood that you're in. It's what you make your home be on the inside. And if you can make your home peaceful and relaxed and not chaotic because you got junk and trash and clothes everywhere. And my home is not like no hoarder home. God, no, it's not. But God was letting me know, I don't care where you live. It's just how you keep your home and how you make your home feel, that it doesn't feel chaotic. Because let's be honest, when you have clothes and dishes everywhere, your home feel chaotic. It doesn't feel like peace. And the scripture said God is not going to dwell in an unclean place. And how can you expect God to come into your home if your home is unclean? And that's spiritually and naturally. It's what I feel. So that's the first thing I'm doing, is eliminating so much time that I'm spending on social media. The second thing I am implementing is getting help. I have a 16-year-old daughter, soon to be 16-year-old daughter, and a soon to be 11-year-old son. And I am one of those kind of people, let me do it myself because I can get it done quicker. Can I be honest? And that's just me. And I am learning that it's more of us that's living in this home besides me. And so with me implemented out, you know, chores and duties, that has alleviated a lot of the stress of me making sure that my home is clean. My daughter and son share a bathroom, and I used to go in there and clean their bathroom for them. Now they have to clean their bathroom because I don't go in there. I mean, I have my own bathroom. This is my bathroom behind me, and so I make sure my bathroom is clean, but they have to go in there and make sure their bathroom is clean. And every Friday or Saturday, they know that they have to clean up their bathroom, top to bottom. And so I'm learning how to delegate chores because it's overwhelming to keep cleaning up behind people. It's overwhelming. It makes you mad. I know it made me mad. And I'm arguing, fussing, instead of them making my kids come back and clean up their own messes that they make. So that's the second thing I'm learning to do, is delegate chores for them to do into this home, so I don't feel so overwhelmed and tired and all of that stuff. So that's the second thing I'm doing. The third thing is I am breaking up my chores or my duties of home in smaller chunks. I had a habit of, when company come, I would try to clean up everything in one day. Oh, child, this video is honest. I had a habit of trying to clean up everything in one day instead of just chunking down the things that needs to be done and continually to do it. I was listening to this young lady who has this podcast called The Confession of a Slob, and she said that home cleaning is not done once a day and you're done. You're cleaning your home every day, and that is so true. Because if you don't clean your home every day, it would become overwhelming. And I'm gonna give you a prime example. I hate doing laundry. As much as I love wearing clothes, I'm sorry, y'all. As much as I love wearing clothes, I hate doing laundry, y'all. Oh my gosh, I hate doing laundry. But we gotta have clean clothes. So I would wait till we have nothing else. And then I said, oh, I need to do laundry. And so then I'm stuck. Like right now, I'm stuck washing all this clothes because I didn't do it continually. So I have learned how to do my homekeeping in chunks, you know. So like right now, I'm doing laundry and I'm been ready to fold up some clothes and put them away, and work on, like, well, I got to clean my bathroom because the bathroom got to get clean, honey. I have a blue-collar husband, and those know why they have blue-collar husband. You know the struggle of a clean tub and bathroom. So, yeah. So, that's what I've learned. I've learned to do my home duties in chunk. Pick a day of what this is the only thing that I'm working on, and be done. I am a big fan of the Fly Lady system. If you have not done a Fly Lady system, I definitely recommend it. I'm a very big fan of hers because she always had that motto: start where you are. Don't make special trips. Don't go get special products. Just start where you are. And I'm a big fan of Fly Lady. But yeah, so as a homekeeper, I'm learning how to do things in chunks and not let things get piled up that I get overwhelmed and frustrated and biting my family head off because of me not being able to grasp and manage my home and make it clean and make it presentable to my family. So that's I think that's number 3. That's the third thing. Third thing that I'm doing is to manage my home into smaller chunks. The next thing that I'm learning how to do with managing my home and being a good homekeeper of my home is take pride in my home. I talked about it a little bit before, but I'm learning how to take pride in my home. This is my home. And as of right now, it's my forever home until God says so. It's this young lady on here. I cannot think of her name, but she lived in a trailer. She still lives in a trailer, but it's a double wide mobile home. But she took pride in her home. She was calling it her mansion. And even though her home was a small mobile home, she took pride in it. She decorated it. She loved it until God said, you said you was brutal over the little things. I'm going to bless you now with many. And I look at her and I smile because I remember her being in that trailer and calling her mansion. And her home was not as big as some of these influencers that live in 2,600 square footage home. Her home was like a small home. Like my home is like 1,800 square footage. And God has convicted me and let me know this is your forever home until I say thus so. And until you can show me that you can be ruler of the little things, I'm not going to bless you with many. And am I looking into moving? I'm not. Can I be honest? I'm not. Just because the housing market is so high and we have less than a half an acre of yard. And nowadays these homes has a blink of a yard. And I mean a blink of a yard. So I'm not, I'm content. I am really content. And so since I am, it had just put that passion in me to work on my own home. It's a young lady named Carrie Lynn. I follow her. Her home, it's not a big home, but you look at her home, you think her home is 2,600 square footage because she loved her home. And that's the thing. No matter where you are, love your home. And it will reflect on the things that you do. It's the thing that's out on YouTube that's talk about, can we talk about having just a everyday home? And, where we don't have the aesthetic home. And some people don't have the aesthetic home. And it's absolutely fine. But as long as you love the home that you're in and appreciate it, and it shows, like when people come in your home, they can see that you love your home. You don't have to do the whole aesthetic kind of thing. Some people just love aesthetic because they just love aesthetic. I'm not an aesthetic person, but I like to decorate my home, but it doesn't have this whole farmhouse kind of theme like that. It did. I have a sign that says home that goes into my dining room because I love the sign. But other than that, I don't have that big old aesthetic home. So yeah. So love your home that you're in, that God has blessed you with, because it could be worse. You can have anything. And sometimes you have to thank God for the little things before he can bless you with the big old things. So yeah, love the home that you're in. And so my last thing that I don't know what number I'm on. It's okay. I'll put the numbers up. But the last thing that I want to talk about that made me realize of being a homekeeper of my home is to be grateful. To be grateful. I prayed. Well, let me give you a brief background of me. I think I did earlier. I was raised in the 90s where it was woman empowerment. You don't need a man. You don't need a man. You can do this without a man. And at a young age, it's still in me. Don't worry about getting married. You can get married at any time, go to school and get a degree and then get married. And that was just instilled in me. But deep down, I wanted to be married. I wanted the family and all that stuff. And I realized that the person and the people were saying that they were damaged on marriage because they wasn't happy in their decision, or they wasn't satisfied with what they had, and they realized how good they had it until they lost it. And they wanted to make sure I didn't get that, if that makes sense. So I had that mentality that I didn't need a man. So every guy that would come around, I was just like, I don't need you. I'm doing this. I don't need you. But deep down, I wanted that. So when God had blessed me to be married, and it's a blessing to be married, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. That's a blessing, because most men ain't found a good wife. Most men, I'm praying for y'all. I wouldn't date now for nothing. But when God had blessed me to be married, for a long time, I was not grateful of the home that God had given me and the husband that God had given me, because I was too busy trying to find his flaws and not thank God or appreciate God for his blessings. And I was looking at my friends who was living in these nice big homes, and on social media, they had a great life, but in reality, it really wasn't. And I had to learn how to be grateful. I had to learn how to thank God for putting me in areas that I wasn't comfortable in my home, putting me in areas that, that made me say, oh God, another one. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not in a neighborhood where it's white picket fences and HOA fees. I'm in the neighborhood there. You're gonna hear gunshots and you're gonna hear the ambulance come down the street. Our cars have been broken into 3 times in this neighborhood, but I am still grateful, just because of the mere fact of it could be worse. It could really be worse. And I appreciate God for my home. I appreciate God for the family that He has ordained for me. I had to tell myself that, because I would fantasize about having this different type of family and this different type of life. And God said, but I gave you this family. So why are you not happy with what I gave you? And I had to repent and say, God, I thank you for the family that you have given to me. And it's a blessing. And I'm absolutely grateful for what God has done, what He continued to do, how He's doing it, when He's doing it. Because I'm gonna be honest, I would have it no other way. I would have it no other way. So be grateful. Be grateful. A Titus 2 woman, she's grateful in the things that she have. She shows it. She teach the young ladies how to be grateful in the things that they have. To teach them about mistakes that they have made along the way. I'm of age now that I can teach younger women to not follow some of the mistakes I have, and to teach them of some of the amazing things of the growth that I have done. So with that being said, let me go ahead and end this video. I hope I didn't keep y'all too long. If you still stayed around, thank you. And if you're enjoying this video, definitely like and subscribe. Like I stated, in the month of March is probably when you're going to see the changes to this channel and to my podcast, just because God has spoken. And I'm truly grateful for what God has spoken. But yeah, so until then, y'all, I hope y'all have a great and lovely week. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.